Good morning, everyone. We're happy to have you here. Welcome to the College of Nursing Virtual Pirate Adventure. My name's Dr. Elizabeth McDermott, and I'm just happy to greet you here today. I want to take a minute and just let everyone who's here introduce themselves, starting with our Dean, Dr. Foley.
I'm muted. Sorry about that. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Liz. Again, I would like to echo Dr. McDermott. We're delighted that you're all here. We can't wait to meet all of you in person. And number one, I'm personally very excited that you have chosen nursing as your profession. Nursing is a phenomenal profession. I've had a phenomenal career in nursing, and it's challenging, but it's also very rewarding. So welcome to all of you, and I look forward to meeting you in the future.
Good morning, I'm Judy Lucas. Dr. Lucas, I'm the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs. I have varying roles that I may see you involved in. Most of you probably know me from the open houses that we've run in the last year or two. My largest role really involves working with faculty to improve our curriculum, our courses, and all of our learning experiences for students. One thing I do want to point out is I do work a lot with the policies, and I wanted to mention that so that you would think about finding on Blackboard in the undergraduate community folder our student policies, which you need to know about all the way through the program. So that's very important. But beyond that, I want to wish you welcome and tell you that I'm most excited, actually, to welcome you to your journey to the profession of nursing. And I'm very excited for you to discover our wonderful classes and our excellent experiences that we will have and that we have planned for you for your development as a professional nurse and for your career as a professional nurse. Welcome, everybody. Dr. Christie Stinson.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Christie Stinson. I'm the chair of the undergraduate program. I'm starting my 8th year here at Seton Hall, and I actually got my master's and my PhD here at Seton Hall, so I'm a proud pirate. And my background is mainly focused in critical care nursing, and I teach across the entire trajectory. So you may have me for one of your first clinical courses, you may have me at the end of your nursing studies here at Seton Hall. And I'm most excited also for you to start your personal journey into nursing. To echo the words of Dean Lucas, it's a journey of discovery and into the world of critical thinking and clinical decision making. And mostly, I'm really excited for you guys to accomplish more than you could ever dream of, because that is exactly what you'll do at Seton Hall. So welcome.
All right, and back to me again. I'm Dr. McDermott, as I mentioned before. And one thing I forgot to say before is that there are, please feel free to ask questions throughout the session. We're going to have some time at the end to go over your questions and make sure we address, your concerns and questions that have come up throughout the program. So feel free to type your questions in that box right there as we're going through. So as I said, I'm Dr. McDermott. I am the Assistant Dean for Student Success. If we go back to that slide for just a second. Thanks. So I'm the Assistant Dean for Student Success here in the College of Nursing, which means my whole job is to help you do as well as you possibly can in the program and at Seton Hall, to be the best student that you can possibly be and prepare to be the best nurse that you possibly can be. So that means we might communicate with regard to anything from your course registration to online tools, to connecting you with tutoring and different resources around the university, to talk through some issues. Hopefully, you'll have no issues at all in all of your 4 years. But if you come into encounter a challenge or something that you need some help with, usually I'm a good person to start with. I also run some workshops to help you improve your academic skills, and again, just be a really great student as you move through the program. I am most excited for you to experience and to meet your nursing classmates. Over the years in my time in the College of Nursing, I've seen just how close the bonds are between our nursing students, and how the great friendships that are formed, and great networks really of nurses that are maintained after graduation. So I'm really excited for you to start to experience that as you come into the program. One person who is not here today, who you might also interact with, is Ms. Teresa Dean, who is our Assistant Dean for Business Affairs. Ms. Dean does a number of things in our college for your purposes. She also manages the scholarships that are maintained within the College of Nursing. So if you see an email from her, it's probably about a scholarship. Please answer her. She's probably inviting you to apply for something, and or if you have any questions about specific scholarships that are housed in the College of Nursing, Ms. Dean's a great, or Dean is your resource. So I just wanted to mention that, her name as well. With that said, I think we can talk a little bit about the curriculum sequence with Dr. Lucas.
Thank you. We'll get right to it. The curriculum has a sequence, and you'll all be following the sequence. In your freshman year, which you're attempting, and that's particularly all the way through to the first semester of your sophomore year, you'll be taking your foundational courses. Now, this includes A&P, all your sciences, microchemistry. It also includes behavioral sciences such as sociology and psychology, and the university core, as well as intro to nursing. These prepare you as a person as well as your profession for your professional nursing science courses. Second semester of sophomore year is when you come up to the new campus at IHS campus in Nutley, and this is when you enter the major. You start with your lab courses and your preclinical nursing courses, such as health assessment and therapeutics. These are courses that give you key skills that you will use throughout your career in nursing. You also take additional sciences, pathophysiology, you take lifespan, which has a population health focus, and sociocultural nursing. Here, the focus is on determinants of health, whether they're biologic determinants or sociocultural. And in your junior year, then you move on to your clinical sequence of courses. You start with adult nursing, gero nursing, and at the same time, you're taking pharmacology and nutrition, in which you learn lots of interventions for all the populations you'll be serving. So it's your junior years when the clinical on-site courses begin. You move on in the second half to adult 2, maternal child nursing, which are special populations. So gero, maternal child, and adult are going to be the special populations these courses, clinical courses, focus on. And in your senior year, you're taking, again, a special area of behavioral health in psychosocial nursing, and you're taking critical complex care in acute nursing. Then that final semester, you'll be taking a course called synthesis, because you pull all of your courses together in that course, and it also allows us to review all of those courses. You also take leadership, which focuses on management of care, and community health nursing, in which you focus on all the populations, but from a community perspective. We also prepare you in that last semester for your NCLEX exam with reviews and practice testing, and we prepare you with getting ready for a career in nursing. So that's the sum total of our curriculum. We'll move on to the next slide.
I'm going to just talk to you for a little bit about our faculty, of which I'm a proud member. We have 31 faculty, both part-time and full-time, that are involved in teaching in the undergraduate curriculum, along with various adjuncts. Adjunct faculty are those you may have for a particular clinical course. Our faculty have a wide variety of professional backgrounds, clinical practice. Some of them are still practicing clinically. We have faculty who have PhDs, so that's more of they have a research background. We have faculty who have DNPs, Doctors of Nurse Practitioners, with more of a clinical background. working in med-surg, acute care facilities, critical care, outpatient, community health, obstetrics, pediatrics, psychiatrics, anything, any course that you're going to have at your time here at Seton Hall, we have faculty experts who will be teaching you in those courses. What really makes our faculty stand out is we are truly invested in our students, not only as students, not only as future nurses, but as people. We really form special bonds with our students. It gives me great pride when I hear back from my students who have graduated, just so they could tell me what they're doing in their careers. They feel invested in us as much as we feel invested in them. We're very flexible with our students because we want to see them succeed in every capacity. So our faculty truly take a flexible approach while delivering a rigorous education that allows our nursing students to flourish. And particularly within your clinical groups, when you have the clinical courses that Dean Lucas was just referring to, you not only have a lecture component, but you have a clinical component where you're out in the healthcare facilities. Your group would be a maximum of 10 students. It's usually kept to 8 students. So 8 students with 1 faculty member. You form a very, very tight bond with the group and that faculty member in your hands-on clinical learning. And it often students want to take another clinical with their same peer group because they really form a really nice tight-knit bond, and they help each other with their studies, with their learning, with their progression towards graduation. So it's a really flexible approach between our didactics, the lectures, the clinicals, the labs. You form a very tight bond, not only with your peer group, but within our faculty that allows you to succeed. So it's a wonderful learning environment that you're going to be coming into for Seton Hall's College of Nursing. Next, we're going to go on to some more information about our academic standards.
Hi, everybody. It's Dean Foley again. So I just would like to echo what Dr. Stinson said, and truly our faculty really are our greatest asset. Certainly our facility, the Interprofessional Health Sciences campus, which is located in Nutley and Clifton, New Jersey. In fact, if you look at the picture on the screen here, those are our students. That's the center hallway in this facility. You can't see much of it. Hopefully many of you have been on tours in that facility. And it's wonderful. It has state-of-the-art labs and simulation skills and classrooms, which is just wonderful. But truly our greatest asset are our faculty. Our faculty are so caring and so kind. They go out of their way for our students. They all have 3 hours of office hours a week, but they will meet with you anytime, that's convenient for the two of you, your faculty and yourself. And truly, we're very thankful that we have the competent and caring faculty that we have. But my real goal today is to talk to you a little bit about academic standards. So nursing is a very rigorous curriculum. And so we do have standards because when you graduate, you are going to be caring for individuals. And so we need to know that when our students graduate, that they're competent and can care for our students. So first of all of our students must attain a C+, which is a 77 or higher in every one of their required science and nursing courses. So, so you must have a 77% in all of those courses in order to pass the nursing curriculum. If you have anything less than that C+, you would need to repeat that course. Students must attain a cumulative GPA of a 3.0. And if you get lower than that, you will go on probation for a semester, but then you have to bring your GPA back up the following semester. As I said, if you do fail a course, you can retake that course once. So let's say that you fail one of your nursing courses with a 76% and didn't make the 77%. You can retake that course the following semester if it's offered. And if you don't pass it the second time, then you can't progress. So the other thing is that students, if you do have 2 failures, by the 3rd failure in any of those required science or nursing courses, you can't progress in the program. There is a lot of discussion about all of these standards in the College of Nursing Undergraduate Student Handbook, and you will all receive a copy of that when you start your nursing courses. It's also, as a nursing student, you're enrolled in a Blackboard shell. Blackboard is our learning environment, and the handbook is posted there. We'll go into this in more detail as time goes on once you start the program. So those are our standards for progressing in the program. The other thing that I need all of you to be very aware of is there are very different requirements for pre-nursing students versus nursing students. So in your acceptance letter, that letter will tell you whether you were accepted directly into the nursing program, that's NURS, or if you were accepted as a pre-nursing student. So a pre-nursing student is a student who has met the requirements for admission to Seton Hall University, but have not met the more stringent requirements as a nursing student. So any of our pre-nursing students are only allowed to track our major for 1 academic year or 2 semesters. And at the end of those 2 semesters, our pre-nursing students must attain a 3.5 cumulative GPA. And they, like all of our other students, they must have received a C+ on the first attempt at all of the required science courses. The required science courses your first year are Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2, and that includes a lab. So students often ask, well, these criteria are more stringent than the students who were admitted into the nursing major directly. And we're very aware of that. And the reason for that is our data show that this is the criteria that students must attain after their first year in order to be successful in our program. If this doesn't happen, in the past, we have seen students who have failed out of the program at the ends of their junior years and beginning of senior year. So because we feel that this is unethical to maintain students in a program where we know, we have significant data that show that they aren't successful. We don't want students in the program for almost 4 years paying tuition and then not being able to graduate. So that's why the pre-nursing standards are a little bit more strict than the nursing standards for after that first year. Once you do, those who do convert from a pre-nursing student to a nursing student after their freshman year, then it's the exact same criteria as the nursing students, and that's the cumulative 3.0 GPA. Please know that we also have a lot of supports that Dean McDermott is going to talk to you about, dedicated academic advisors in nursing, as well as the university freshman advisors. And we do, have a lot of, the university has a lot of student supports for you to be successful in your freshman year. So that's, I just like to say that, make sure that you check your acceptance letter, you understand whether you're being admitted directly into the major or as a pre-nursing student. And many students after their freshman year decide that perhaps this major isn't for them, either a nursing or a pre-nursing student. Many, even if they are not able to convert to a nursing major after their freshman year, stay at Seton Hall because, you know, they love the university, they've made some good friends, and again, we assist everyone with those decisions once that occurs. So we do have, you know, as Dean McDermott said, we will have some open time for questions, and so if anyone has any questions related to that or something else, you will have the opportunity to ask. So thank you.
All right, so I want to talk to you a little bit about what to expect from your first year, and specifically your first semester at Seton Hall. So as Dr. Foley said, it's really important to know whether you're pre-nursing or nursing, but either way, whether you're a pre-nursing major or declared nursing major, your first semester, your first year is going to be going to look the same in terms of the courses that you take. You'll be, you know, as a pre-nursing major, you'll be right on track to follow along, and you know, as long as you meet the requirements to progress. So in that first semester this fall, and I know you'll be registering, in a little bit this afternoon. So for the fall semester, generally the pre-nursing and nursing schedule consists of Anatomy and Physiology 1, an Intro to Sociology course, a Core English course, Core English 1, a language, and 2 courses that everybody at the university takes, University Life and Journey of Transformation. So that may vary a little bit depending on your background or where you've come in. You know, some students will bring in AP credit for English, or they'll bring in transfer credit for a language. So that'll shift a little bit in what that first semester looks like. And you'll have your freshman advisors right there with you as you register to figure out how to fill in those gaps if you have any. But just to talk to you a little bit about those classes and what to expect. Nursing majors do, you know, as Dr. Foley mentioned, it's a rigorous curriculum, and we often talk about kind of hitting the ground running. You know, you start off that first semester and you're starting your nursing career. That first A&P course, you'll start to learn content that you'll use for the rest of your nursing career. So it's really, I think it's very exciting that you start right away and you start to use, look at stuff and know stuff that you will, you know content that you'll use as a practicing nurse in your career. That said, it's also very important. So we want to make sure that you do well and you meet the academic standards. So it's going to be a challenging first year, a challenging first semester. You know, right from the start, we want to see you do your best and have a strong start to the semester and to the year. That said, we have a lot of support for you. For Anatomy and Physiology specifically, we know that's usually the most challenging course for our freshman students for the first year. So there's supplemental instruction for Anatomy and Physiology, which is a session that you can go to weekly, in which you review with a trained instructor the content that you learned that week. And sometimes they have, you know, super sessions in preparation for upcoming exams. We also have regular tutoring where you meet one-on-one or perhaps with a small group with a tutor, usually a student who has taken the class in the last year or two and can kind of show you the ropes and go through material with you. And help you prepare for exams and just make sure that you know your content well. We also encourage you to use faculty office hours, which seems like a really obvious resource, but you know, we hear about a lot of students who don't take advantage of that right from the start, and it can be such a difference maker in how you do in that first semester in the first year. All our university faculty members have office hours, and if you're unable to go to them, we always say, you know, reach out, you know, if you have a course conflict or work conflict or something, I would definitely reach out to them and try to schedule another time, even just to get to know them a little bit, and also ask questions, of course, about the class and how things are going. We have academic coaching available, both from the College of Nursing and from the university. So You'll have your freshman advisor around to talk about how you're approaching your studies, how to approach a college class as opposed to your high school courses. And you'll also have me and your academic advisors in the College of Nursing to talk even more specifically about the nursing major and how to approach your specific nursing classes. So the Academic Resource Center, as well as the College of Nursing, offer workshops designed to help you improve upon things. So, all right, I have this giant textbook chapter to read, and I don't know where to start or how I'm ever going to get through it or make sense of it for a lecture in 3 days. We can help you figure that out. We can help you decide, approach the material so that you're not memorizing every line, but you're figuring out how to take the important stuff from it. And we can do that one-on-one too. We do a lot of individual counseling as well. So that's just sort of a general rundown. Oh, we also have workshops and events specifically for pre-nursing majors. So if we want you to make it, we know that the pressure there is unique, and we want to help you through that to meet the requirements and move on in the program. So keep an eye out for those, for all of those events. That in mind, make sure you're checking your Seton Hall email on a regular basis, because that's how we communicate with you about all these things, and make sure that you're marking your calendar. And I would also say, make sure you don't wait to go to these things. A lot of times people say, well, I'm doing fine, I don't need tutoring. It's the A-B students that go to tutoring and keep those A's and B's, so make sure that that's part of your regular schedule right from the start, that you incorporate those extra supports, so that you don't find yourself mid-semester a little bit lost than you maybe need to be. With that in mind, we also have, as you see there on the slide, a mandatory first year meeting for all our first year students at the beginning of each semester, just to kind of remind you about all this stuff, but also to make sure you have all the information that you need right from the start. As I said, it's very important for nursing majors to kind of hit the ground running, have a strong start right from the first semester of your freshman year, and we want to make sure you're equipped to do that right as classes begin. So we just take an hour of your time at the very beginning of the semester, this time Tuesday, August 25th at 6 p.m. This will be a virtual meeting on Teams. So again, just keep an eye on your Seton Hall email, because I'll be sending you an email with the meeting invite. And we'll get together then to kind of kick off the semester and make sure that we have answered any of your questions and that you have all the information that you need to take advantage of the numerous resources that we have available to you, and really get a great start to your first year. With that said, I think we can move on to our question and answer portion. We want to get started there. So one of the first questions that I see here is actually about international study for nursing students. So I'm going to encourage my colleagues to chime in here about their own experiences, but there are certainly opportunities for nursing students to study abroad. It is definitely difficult for a nursing student to take a full semester abroad the way that some college students do, to say, I'm going to take the whole fall semester in Madrid or in Rome or whatever it is, just because it's not impossible, but because the courses won't transfer into the nursing program where you're working toward a license in a state and for standards, you'll be pushing back your graduation by that one semester that you've taken at in another country. That said, there are plenty of opportunities to study abroad in the summer, even over spring breaks. We have classes that run over a spring break trip, so you'll spend your spring break in Rome or Paris, and you'll get credits for the class that you take while you're over there. We have trips that are more non-academic. Sometimes our faculty members find some opportunities to take their students to places around the world, really, to see what nursing is like in other locations, whether to learn some skills and also to provide some relief in certain areas. So there are certainly a number of opportunities to study abroad as a nursing major. It might just look a little bit different than your friends who are liberal arts majors.
Thank you, Dr. McDermott. I just wanted to add to that a lot of times in the past, our students have gone either over the Christmas break or over spring break to the Philippines, to Ecuador, to Costa Rica. And as Dean McDermott said, it certainly isn't impossible to study abroad if you did want to for a semester, but it would put your graduation back because all of our courses are lockstep. So, you have to take your sophomore year courses before you can take your junior year courses. And depending on when those courses are offered, if you missed a semester, it would put you back a semester. So, but we definitely encourage our students to do some of those week or our breaks because I think that you learn so much from them, which will assist you in caring for a very diverse population of patients when you do graduate and become a nurse. So, thanks.
Hi, I was just going to offer to echo the thoughts that were just given. A lot of our nursing students have gotten involved with service trips, not just through the college nursing sponsor, but the entire university. They do a wide variety of both national and international service trips. I have one of my former students, all 4 years, every spring break, she did a service trip and spoke of how that was very transformative in herself as a future nurse. So there's many different opportunities, maybe not semester long, but certainly, as we were saying, through your Christmas break or summer break or spring break. Spring break's a real popular one to do some sort of travel and service trips.
And just to transition that into another question that has come up, another reason or another way that students study abroad is to take sometimes to study languages abroad, especially over the summer. And that can help students cover their language requirement for the College of Nursing. So someone asked about that requirement. The college requires 6 credits in a language. It can be any language at any level, sometime in the curriculum. If you take the placement test and test above the level that we're looking for, if you choose, you could substitute a language for another elective credit. That said, we do encourage you, if you have placed, especially if you have placed above in a language, you're probably pretty good at it, and it's a marketable skill. It's an important skill for healthcare workers. So we do encourage you to continue. You certainly don't have to, but it's something to think about if you're in that position. Another question that that has come up is about transportation to IHS. IHS is the Interprofessional Health Sciences campus, so our home in the College of Nursing, which is at a campus in Nutley, New Jersey. So the short answer is no, there's no transportation provided between the 2 campuses, between South Orange and Nutley. There's limited availability for students who are not able to find any other options. But that said, students are responsible for getting to campus themselves. You are also responsible for getting to your clinical sites yourself. So to get to IHS is just 1 semester sooner when you're in that lab clinical semester. So it's just 1 semester sooner that you're asked to have your own transportation to IHS. That doesn't necessarily mean that every one of our students has their own car. I would say most of our students carpool. Even students who do have their own car often carpool with their classmates because it's easier, it's more social, it's fun. Sometimes they study on the way to class or on the way to clinical. And we can help kind of connect you if you need to find options to get there. Usually by the time you're required to be at IHS, students have made those connections and made the plans, but we can certainly help you to do that when you get to that point. Okay. So another question is about taking on a minor alongside the nursing major. So that's absolutely something that's feasible. We see students take minors and complete minors pretty regularly. Taking another major alongside nursing is very, very difficult, if not, you almost certainly be adding time to graduation onto that unless you're coming in with a whole lot of credits in one area. But that said, a minor is perfectly feasible, especially if you're willing to take a summer class or two, or if you bring in some credits. A minor is definitely possible. Minor at Seton Hall is usually 18 to 21 credits. So, you'll work with your advisor, both your freshman advisor and your nursing advisor, to kind of design your plan along the way, and make sure that you're getting in both your nursing requirements and your minor requirements. But it's definitely possible, and it's a great way to kind of see another part of the university, add a little bit of a diverse perspective to your curriculum and to your transcript. And students do it in all sorts of different ways. Sometimes they bring in credits in a language and continue with the language, and and that's an easy way to declare a minor. Sometimes it's just, I'm really interested in this subject, and maybe I took this class freshman year and I really liked it, so I want to continue with it in some way. So that's a great option to go with. Again, you'll just work closely with your advisors as you go through.
Thank you. I just wanted to also add that many of our students minor in gerontology. That's a minor out of the the Department of Social Work and Arts and Sciences, and some of the nursing courses will transfer that you would get credit for that minor as well. And another are Catholic Studies, and as Dean McDermott said, other courses such as philosophy, psychology, sociology. So yeah, we have had students who double majored. Typically, they come with some credits from AP credits or things like that, but it is a little bit more difficult for our students to double major, but many have minors. So.
And this seems like a great question for you, Dr. Stinson. What are the clinical sites, and what are the days and hours like for clinicals and lectures?
Hi there. So the answer, very short answer to what are the clinical sites is anything you can think of. Seton Hall has affiliations with every healthcare system, every hospital. You pretty much can go anywhere you'd even think of. That's where we do our clinicals. Community sites, we work with some of the school systems, anywhere across the state of New Jersey. When you get to your clinical courses, so one of the other questions in the chat was, when do classes start up at IHS campus? You will start with your coursework up at the IHS campus second semester sophomore year. And during that semester, you're going to have 2 lab-based courses, health assessment and therapeutics, both of which have a lecture component and then a lab component that's up at the Nutley campus. First semester junior year is your first clinical course where you're going out into the facilities. The clinical courses have 1 day of lecture and then 1 day of clinical. So one of the other questions in the chat was how many days a week are nursing courses, and the answer is once a week. But if it's a clinical course, you have a lecture component and then a clinical day, and those are 2 separate days. And you'll have much help from our advisors, from Dean McDermott. Anybody you could think of will help you to design your schedules. If you have a minor, if you have classes back at the South Orange campus, it's very easy to navigate the schedule to accommodate all of those. But again, nursing classes specifically only meet once a week. Oh, and I'm sorry, one other question was languages. What are popular languages for the nursing majors? The 2 that I see the most are Spanish is a real popular one, and also sign language. Sign language is one of the languages offered at Seton Hall. When my nursing students take it, they love it. It's just absolutely fascinating, and it really makes a nice transition as a future healthcare provider to be able to sign. So those are the 2 most popular language choices for nursing majors.
Someone also asked about food options at IHS, so I thought we could talk a little bit about our IHS campus and what to expect. There are certainly food options at IHS. There's a cafe where you can order food, and they also have kind of grab and go type stuff for purchase, where you don't have to wait for them to make it and you just take it away with you. There are also a lot of places in the area that I feel like our students often will stop at on the way into the building or out. We're right on Route 3, so there are a lot of good options right around there. The campus itself also has, we have a Department of Student Life. We have a number of activities and events that are run specifically for our IHS students, and to try to have an active campus. We might have this past year, for example, the College of Nursing had a tent or a table at Fall Fest, which had some pumpkin painting and all kinds of fun activities and food. A lot of apple cider donuts that were a big hit. And then we have a lot of Christmas festivities around that time of year, and different lectures and events that go on at IHS. So it's really a full functioning campus. I know we mostly talk about the labs and the classrooms and our offices, but there's a lot of other stuff going on there too. There's also, there's a big green area in front of it. You can borrow some athletic equipment. In the Office of Student Life, they have all kinds of yoga mats, basketballs, ping pong rackets. In our student lounge, we have ping pong tables and pool tables and stuff like that as well. In addition to that fun, not that this isn't fun stuff, but we also have, the important resources that you might need at IHS, including disability support services, counseling and psychological services. We have our own bookstore at IHS where you'll get, a lot of your nursing supplies. We certainly have food options, and, it's a fully functioning campus, which, again, as Dr. Foley said, if you haven't taken a tour yet, we're very excited for you to get there at some point soon to see it.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say, I saw one of the questions about a student being a part of the honors program. We have many students who are part of the honors program, and just like a minor, one of our graduating seniors this year had a minor in philosophy, was an honors student, and was a full-time nursing student. And, definitely we have many students who are in the honors program, and we're very aware of the types of schedules that you need to be in those courses and programs, and the advisors and Dean McDermott will work with you to make sure that you meet all of those requirements.
I wanted to add to that too, Dean Foley, that with the honors program, we have worked out very specifically that with our curriculum so that students can follow both. And especially in the senior year, when you have an honors research project that you do, we can work it out with you based on what your interest is to work with a particular faculty member in your senior semester. So that usually works out well for the honors students, just in case you have specific questions.
Another question that came up that I think is really important. Do you have any tips for students seeking online classes? So I imagine we all have a little bit of insight after the past few months. One thing I would say is to make sure you have a schedule for yourself and a place where you can focus and concentrate. The place where you kind of set aside, this is where I'm going to do my work. I always recommend I've been recommending to students too to look at your week on Sunday morning and plan out what it looks like. Where's my study time this week? Where's my relaxing time this week? Because it's a little bit, as you might imagine, it's a little bit different with online or remote classes, to make sure that you're focusing. It's just kind of a different routine. So you want to make sure that you set that out for yourself from the start of the week. I'm going to open that up to our other presenters too to see if they have any advice.
Yeah, I'll take this one. As Dean McDermott just said, we've gotten a lot of experience in the past few months with the online teaching. I'm actually teaching a summer course this semester that the lecture component is online, and it takes planning. I'm just going to echo what was just said. You just have to really be able to plan your time, have a set space to do your learning, to do your studying. You can see somebody in my house just floated by behind me. Like, you have to be prepared for that too, that, you know, if you're learning from your home environment, it's a different type of learning. But I have to say, I think we've still had some fun with this. It really has, making it as interactive as possible. I've been meeting with my students one-on-one, all virtually, but I really feel like I've gotten to almost connect with them more because, you know, I had a student say, hey, can we meet this morning? It was Saturday morning. I said, sure. You know, like, it's given us a little more flexibility in that sense to be able to get our meetings in, get our learning in, get our studying in. Because all you have to do is just go to a corner of your house and turn on your computer, so to speak. The classes are still very interactive. We're doing a lot of different online teaching, gaming modalities. It really has been opened up a lot of different learning experiences for us. And a lot of us, myself included, are very visual learners. And this, while there's a definite hands-on component for nursing, and you will be provided that, the visual side of our learning really has exceeded in this environment. So I think that's good. I just wanted to take one other quick question. Somebody a couple different times came up about EMTs. I don't think any of us here on this format were EMTs, but we've had a lot of EMT students. Every semester in all of my classes, I have EMTs. And we work with you guys. It's a different type, nursing is definitely a different type of critical thinking than EMTs. But it does offer you, you know, you have a foundational level of knowledge as an EMT, and we help you to expand that into the world of nursing. So you'll be able to bridge your knowledge from one to the other pretty easily.
Hi, everybody. I would also just like to add, there was a question from someone that said that they're from out of state and would they be able to do their classes remotely freshman year? And I know that you could do most of your classes remotely. I'm not sure what anatomy and physiology will do with the labs. So I would probably reach out to the Dean of Arts and Sciences, who is Dr. Peter Shoemaker, and find out if they have plans for that. So we're working on what the university is calling a high flex program, where some students will be in class and others would be remote. And so while I would like to say yes, if you so chose to, you know, not be on campus your freshman year, the only course I'm really not sure about is anatomy and physiology.
And you'll probably be able to communicate with your freshman advisor about that as well, because I imagine, you know, that's usually a lot of students take that class in the fall. So I imagine there are a lot of students with that question. I would stay in touch with that person, or you could reach out to me as well as the arts and sciences folks. I think we're just about out of time, and I know you guys have another session after this. We don't want to delay you, and especially from registration, when you get to put all these fun classes on your schedule for the fall that we just talked about. Unless, do any of our presenters have anything to add, or anything that we might want to cover in the last 2 minutes?
Hi, this is Dean Foley. So I did just want to say there was another question about students who took anatomy and physiology or other types of courses in high school. And I know that different universities will educate the high school teachers in the university requirements for those types of courses, and you will get credit for them. However, in the courses like anatomy and physiology, number one, your entire nursing curriculum is built on what you've learned in anatomy and physiology your freshman year. So we accept those credits, and they will count as, you know, electives or other types of things. But we do require that those science courses are retaken at Seton Hall. There was another question about, I believe, a nursing course that, you know, Rutgers gave, and so what you would need to do, it depends on the course. It sounds like it might be you know, like an intro to nursing course, but you would have to bring your course description and the objectives of what was actually learned. And if indeed it would transfer as perhaps our intro to professional nursing course, that possibly could transfer, but it needs to be looked at and by Dr. not McDermott, I'm sorry, by Dr. Lucas, our Associate Dean of Undergraduate Programs. So.
Anything else that you'd like to cover before we sign off? Okay, well, thanks everybody for attending today. Very excited to meet you virtually. I cannot wait to meet you in person when we get to campus. But have a wonderful rest of the day. Again, you'll be, and now that we've been introduced via Teams, you'll be receiving some emails from me, especially about that August date when we'll get together just as the semester is starting. So good luck with the rest of the day. Welcome aboard, and go Pirates.